So, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the organizational meeting of the board to order. And I'll start with our land acknowledgement. So, we acknowledge that we are on land and surrounded by water, originally inhabited by Indigenous peoples who have traveled this area since time immemorial. This territory is within the lands honored by the Wampum Treaties, agreements between the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenni Lenape, and the allied nations to peacefully share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Specifically, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Huron-Wendat peoples and the Three Fires Confederacy, Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture while remaining committed to moving forward respectfully with First Nation, Inuit, and Métis. The purpose of the organizational meeting is to establish the board structure for the coming year, and this evening trustees will elect a chair and a vice chair of the board and their committees, and will begin to establish the committee structure for the coming year. And I'd like to call upon Superintendent Castellano to do the invocation.
Thank you. Education is the heartbeat of our community. It shapes futures, opens doors, and transforms lives. This year, as we gather, let us make decisions that will empower every learner to thrive. Each voice here matters because together we hold the power to ignite curiosity, foster equity, and build a culture where every student feels seen, supported, and inspired. Let us approach this work with optimism, believing that every challenge is an opportunity and every idea can spark progress. Collaboration is our greatest strength. When we unite our talents and perspectives, we create solutions that none of us could achieve alone. Let's lead with courage, listen with empathy, and act with purpose, knowing that the decisions we make today will echo in the lives of generations to come. Our shared commitment is more than a responsibility. It is a calling. Let's rise to it together.
Thank you very much for that. And I'd like to acknowledge our two scrutineers for this evening. We have Drake Reed and Paul Mancini, and both of them are external members of our audit committee. And thank you for doing this for us this evening. So at this point on the agenda, we'll move to a nomination and an election of a chairperson. So I'd like to declare nominations open for chairperson of the Greater Essex County District School Board. Do we have any nominations? Trustee Nelson?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Gail Hatfield.
Yes, I'm honored to accept the nomination. Thank you.
Do we have any other nominations? No further nominations. We'll seek resolution for the nominations to be closed. So we'll need a mover that nominations for chairperson of the board be closed. Trustee Cook. And a seconder, Trustee Buckler, and that closes. Trustee Hatfield, did you want to say anything, or did you want to just move into the chair?
I'll just move the meeting along. Thank you. Do you want me to do it from up there? Well, welcome everyone to our organizational meeting. We're now at item F on our agenda, the nomination and election of the vice chairperson. And I'll ask for nominations for that position. Trustee Cook.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Buckler, please.
Thank you. Trustee Buckler, do you accept? No? Thank you. Are there any other nominations? No. There any other nominations? No. Seeing none, then. Oh, Trustee Chin. I can't hear you.
Thank you. I want to nominate Trustee Nelson for the vice chair. Thank you.
Trustee Nelson, do you accept the nomination?
I do accept the nomination. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other nominations? Okay, we have 2 candidates for the position of vice chair, so our scrutineers will have some work here to do. Do we have ballots? We're just getting set up here, but before we do that, I'll ask the candidates if they would like to speak to their nomination. Trustee Buckler?
Do nominators get to speak in our new bylaws? I think nominators usually they
Just
get to
ask Trustee Buckler if she wanted to speak. Trustee Cook, did you want to speak as well?
I'm fine if Trustee Buckler wants to speak to her nomination. I think that would be awesome.
I just wanted to acknowledge that I appreciate the nomination, and I have served this board for the last year. I thought well, and I would like to continue to serve in this place and continue to learn and to continue to grow along with the board.
Thank you. And Trustee Nelson, Trustee Chin, do you want to speak?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would like to have Trustee Nelson to speak for that. Thank you.
Trustee Nelson?
Yes, it's a pleasure and an honor to be nominated, so thank you, Trustee Cheen. I would also like to contribute my time and effort as your vice chair in support of what the plan is for the upcoming year. I would do it with a great honor, so I'm thankful for the nomination.
Thank you. Just hang on, I'm still trying to find one of those little pencils. Trustee Nelson is the vice chair. Okay. Thank you. The next section of our agenda is other nominations and elections to our statutory committees. I would just like to make a couple comments before we move on to the nominations. I don't think that we absolutely have to fill all the vacancies tonight. We know that we are going to be looking to add 2 more trustees in a short period of time. To give an example, the audit committee, their next meeting is scheduled for June 15th, so there's no immediacy to have to fill that tonight. So we just might want to give that some thought as we're going through the different committees. The other thing is that I was asked if I could provide a small synopsis of the purpose of the committees. So I'm going to do that as well. So we're going to just go a little bit slower. Trustee Burgess?
When we get to the item, I am going to put on the floor a motion to defer G1 and G2. So just to let you know that if that's an order with support, and I would speak to both those.
We have a motion to defer G1 and G2 to specific time on the motion to defer.
It's dependent on filling the vacancies that have occurred during a 4-year term. So when the vacancies are filled, then we would have 10 trustees in order to consider candidacy to fill the vacancies on audit.
Do we have a seconder to defer?
So the
Trustee
date
McKinley?
is uncertain.
All those in support of deferral?
Yeah, I was going to give rationale.
All those in support of deferral? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's defeated.
Wouldn't I be able to speak to it? You asked me for a date.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No, you just asked me for a date because it was whether deferral to a
But
date
you
certain
said
or
why
not.
you wanted to defer it until we have the other trustees. So
Well, actually, I had just a few words.
I think it's been defeated though, hasn't it?
So we
There's
can
a
still proceed. We just don't have to fill when we ask for nominations. There just won't be one. Simple. I don't know why we're making this complicated. To speak. Thank you. I'm going to give the brief summary of the audit committee, as I said I wanted to do for each one of them. So all of the statutory committees are mandated by the Education Act, and all their terms of reference are contained in the legislation for each of them. So the audit committee is responsible for communicating with internal and external matters of the board, including review of financial statements, accounting policies adopted by the board, internal controls, matters of fraud, potential fraud, and management override of internal controls, disagreements between administration and the auditors, although I don't know that we've had any, and approve the internal and external audit plans and review the annual financial statements of the board. So that's the role of the audit committee. The membership is 3 trustees and 2 external members that you've met tonight. Drake and Paul are actually on the agenda of the public meeting to be reappointed to the audit committee. So we can now either take a nomination or defer it to another meeting. Is there a nomination for the audit committee? Trustee Burgess?
I would defer it to another meeting.
Okay. And a
And I could
seconder
speak
to
to
defer
that
that
if I
audit committee? You wanted to speak to it? Trustee McKinley, you want to speak to it again? Trustee Burgess?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that it takes a bit of expertise, and I don't know who the next, couple of trustees are going to be joining our board, if and when, and I don't know the time, but I think that there may come forward some expertise that might really build the audit committee's expertise. So I would defer it again. I would use the same logic to wait until the vacancies are filled. So
Thank you. All those in support of the deferral? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That carries. Thank you. The second statutory committee on the agenda tonight is SEAC, our Special Education Advisory Committee. And this is a committee that works to improve the interests and well-being of children who are exceptional within our board. And that requires the vacancies. We have 1 member and 1 alternate for the remainder of the term. So do we have nominations for the SEAC vacancies? Trustee Burgess?
I would move deferral again of this, and I would speak to it, and I would refer to page 93 of our meeting, which hasn't started yet, but the information is in there from the report of the existing SEAC about a reflective piece on joining SEAC.
Do we have a seconder on the deferral? Trustee McKinley. I'd like to speak to the deferral. I'm not sure that it's wise that we wait for 1 member and 1 alternate, assuming that you're going to appoint maybe the new members to both those positions. I don't know why we couldn't appoint either a member or an alternate to fill in until we, if you appoint an alternate, then you have someone to fill in until we appoint a member, but that's just my opinion. Thank you. All those in...
If I could read what the information is on what is on page 93. I don't know if anybody has their pages open about what we're looking for members of SEAC. So if we're going to defer it, if it fails, this would be what I would be looking for nominees.
All those in support of the deferral on both positions? That motion fails. So I'm looking for a nomination. First, we're going to do a member. If you want to nominate someone to be a member of SEAC. Trustee McKinley?
I'd just like to make a note first that trustees may want to know before deciding is that SEAC meets on Wednesday, the second Wednesday of each month. And there are 10 meetings. They hold monthly meetings. So just to be aware of that.
Thank you. So does someone want to self-nominate? Do we have a nomination for someone to fill the membership spot on SEAC? If there are no nominations, we will move to the alternate position. Would someone like to nominate or self-nominate to be the alternate on SEAC? Anyone interested in SEAC?
Sorry. I sit on SEAC now, and I do have excellent attendance. So if you're concerned as an alternate, we haven't had reason to have an alternate yet. Hopefully I keep healthy, and whoever we choose later for the other SEAC member also there. So don't be afraid to be an alternate.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a criteria, but thanks for that, for sharing that. So is anyone interested in serving as the alternate on SEAC? Seeing none, we're going to move on to our SAL committee. That's our supervised alternative learning committee. That has 2 trustees, 1 from the city, 1 from the county, and 1 alternate. So the trustees sit on this committee to ensure that student needs are considered, to provide a link between the community and the school board, and to advocate for student achievement and well-being of the students that come before the committee. So do we have a nomination for that? Trustee McKinley?
Yes, I'd like to self-nominate for that, please. Thank you.
So Trustee McKinley is self-nominating for the city position. Do we have any other nominations for that position? Nope. Seeing none, then Trustee McKinley, thank you for being, Trustee Burgess?
I would, since nobody's nominating, I would self-nominate for the county member. Are we just going for the city right now? I didn't hear the word city. I'm sorry. And I heard
I was just starting to say
self-nomination.
thank you, Trustee McKinley, for nominating to be the city trustee. Trustee Burgess is self-nominating to represent the county on this committee. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, okay. Thank you, Trustee Burgess, for taking the county position. And we need one alternate, and the alternate can be from either the city or the county. That's not stipulated. Do we have anyone interested in that position? Trustee Nelson for the alternate?
I'd like to self-nominate for the alternate.
Sure. Anyone else? Nope. Then thank you, Trustee Nelson, for being the alternate on our SAL committee. Thank you. Next is our GECPIC committee, Greater Essex County Parent Involvement Committee. This is one trustee and one alternate. And the purpose of this committee is to support, encourage, and enhance parent-guardian engagement at the board level in order to improve student achievement and well-being. So do we have someone for this? Trustee Burgess?
Thanks, Madam Chair. This is the only one that I looked at with real gusto tonight to self-nominate for, to be the member on PIC. And I would speak to that if you ask, once you ask for other nominations.
Trustee Burgess as the member. Are there any other trustees interested in this position? Are there any others? No. Then thank you, Trustee Burgess, for being the member on GECPIC. We haven't been taking motions to move and second to close the nominations, but they've all been by acclamation. So if we're okay on proceeding, we need an alternate on GECPIC. Someone interested? Trustee McKinley?
Yes, I'd like to self-nominate for the alternate position. Thanks.
Is there anyone else who would like to be the alternate on GECPIC? No. Seeing none, then again, Trustee McKinley, you've been acclaimed as the alternate on GECPIC. Thank you very much. The next committee is Student Discipline and Appeals Committee. This has 3 trustees and 2 alternates. And this committee is to make decisions on suspensions, expulsions, and exclusion appeals after hearing from administration and the parent guardian sides of the issue, and they sit to adjudicate the final decision. So for this, we need 3 trustees as members. So I'm going to open that first to nominations. Trustee McCauley?
I would like to self-nominate for the committee.
Thank you. Anyone else? Trustee Cook?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Buckler.
Trustee Buckler, do you accept?
I'd rather be an alternate if I could.
Okay. All right. Trustee Burgess?
I know the background of Trustee Nelson would fit this really well. I'm wondering if she would be interested because I would nominate Trustee Nelson.
Trustee Nelson?
I accept the nomination. Thank you.
We need a third member. Nominations. We have Trustees McCauley and Nelson. We need a third. Trustee Chin, you'd like to nominate someone?
Nah,
Pardon?
nah, nominate, self-nominate.
Sorry, not for this committee. Anyone else? Trustee Nelson?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Cook.
Trustee Cook, do you upset?
I appreciate the nomination, but I'm going to decline.
Okay. Trustee Burgess?
Can I make a motion to defer for the third member until vacancies are filled and see if a possible candidate comes forward?
So this committee is critical to have the 3 members. So unless we are sure that we have 2 alternates, I'm concerned about leaving it without 3 members. So Trustee McKinley?
I was going to self-nominate for alternate, but I can self-nominate for the regular position. I've been on it as an alternate before, so.
I just have a
McKelly?
question.
Sure.
Are 3 trustees required to attend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it tends to be a difficult committee to get everybody together. So I want to make sure that we have enough people. So Trustee McKinley, I would just like you to clarify your preference for as to be an alternate or a permanent member.
Well, as we need a permanent member now and nobody else is coming forward, I will self-nominate for the permanent member so that we can continue the work.
Okay, we have, Trustee Cook?
I just want to make it, I just want people to know that having been on the committee prior, that these meetings are during the week, they're during the daytime. Sometimes they're 3 hours, sometimes they're 4 hours, sometimes they're 15 minutes. And all 3 members have to be there. So it can be difficult at times.
I would have been willing to go with 2 members and 2 alternates because that could ensure, but if Trustee McKinley's comfortable being the member, that's fine. So are there any others who would like to be nominated to be a member? Okay. I'm going to close those nominations, and those people are acclaimed. So Trustees McCowie, Nelson, and McKinley are the members of Student Discipline. And Trustee Buckler, you've already been nominated as alternate, and you accept that. Okay. And we need 1 more. Would we like to move on from that? Trustee Cook? Leave that one open.
I'll be the other alternate.
An alternate? Okay, thank you. That helps. Okay. Are there any others who would like to nominate for that? No, then that's by acclamation too. So thank you, Trustees Buckler and Cook, for taking on the role of alternates. This was a priority to make sure that we had this committee filled. The last is the Director's Performance Appraisal Committee. This is a fairly new process, but it is by Ontario regulation that sets out the mandatory assessment criteria that all school boards must use to complete their director's annual performance appraisal. The committee will be responsible for facilitating the process between July 1 of the current year and June 30th of the following year, when that committee will be dissolved. So this, just to be clear, this is the committee that will facilitate the process. It's not that those 3 trustees are responsible for completing the appraisal itself. So nominations, Trustee Burgess.
I would like to nominate you, Madam Chair, to be on the Director's Performance Appraisal for the same logic I used at the Policy and Bylaw Committee.
Okay. I'll accept the nomination. Thank you. And Trustee Cook?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Buckler.
Trustee Buckler, would you like to do that? Are there any more nominations? Trustee McCowie?
I have a question.
Sure.
So the Ontario regulation requires that the committee for the DPA is struck by May 15th of each year. So for this cycle, are we sticking to the existing structure? Okay. So whoever is elected to the DPA right now would be seeing the next, not the one that already started as of August.
Through you, Madam Chair. So who's selected now will begin on May 15th, 2026. The current committee that's in place will continue until this DPA is completed. Correct? Yes. Yes. You can't change people on the committee partway through a process. And we started the process, and it's already gone to trustees for what the DPA is, so it cannot change the members of the committee midstream.
Can I just
Thanks
ask
for
a
clarifying that, Trustee McCowie.
Can I just ask a follow-up? So if this group of trustees that's elected to the committee is starting May 15th of 26, and then we have an election in October.
Through you, Madam Chair, there's language in the regulation that deals with that.
Trustee Burgess.
Thanks, Madam Chair. So now that we know the timelines and who we're doing, where their start date is, did the vacancies have any effect on the 3 trustees that were necessary in the present cycle? Is there any vacancy? Is there any vacancy? Do we have 3 trustees from the present process?
There is a vacancy, but we still have a majority left.
But we have a vacancy existing.
Correct.
For the present cycle
Correct.
that ends in May.
Yeah. So let's not make this too complicated. Trustee McCowie?
No, just to Trustee Burgess' point, I was just going to say that the regulation only requires 3 to 7 trustees, and the existing structure, like regardless of the vacancy, there's still 3 trustees to have the DPA committee struck. So I don't think we have to fill that position on the DPAs, if that's what you're alluding to. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, so we have myself and Trustee Buckler. We're looking for a third who might want to take on the...
Trustee McKinley,
Pardon?
who's the chair of Learning and Equity?
This is for the new committee.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought we were going back to the existing.
So, no, we're dealing with G6, which is the DPA committee.
Yeah.
Trustee Burgess?
Thanks, Madam Chair. I would, using the same logic I used at the policy committee, because I think that it's a good idea to have the chair, the vice chair, closest to senior admin and the director. I would nominate Trustee Nelson to the director's performance appraisal as a member.
Trustee Nelson, do you accept the nomination?
I do accept the nomination. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are there any other nominations for the membership on the DPA committee? Trustee Chin?
Yeah, I self-nominate myself. Yeah.
Trustee Chin is also interested. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Trustee Burgess, are you putting your mic on? Trustee Burgess?
Madam, I think I need to go into private session or have a word with you about this process. And I would say under the Education Act, there's something in there about prospective litigation or legal matters that I need to talk to you before you, if we could have a recess, if you could call a recess. And I don't need to speak with maybe everybody, but since you're chairing this particular organizational meeting, and the chair, the director should hear and witness what I think. It's a private matter, and it's about this.
This is new for me, so I would ask for
motion to
a
recess?
motion to recess for 3 minutes. Supported by Trustee Buckler. All those in support? We're recessed for 3 minutes. There's no business arising to report from our little recess. So we need to vote on this. So I'm not sure how we do this one either. Do you take your 1, 2, and 3? How do we do this? Trustee McKinley?
Could we have a quick refresher on who submitted their names before we check them off?
If it's not too late, I'd really love to nominate Kathy Cook for the Trustee Cook as well. Can I do that? Can I submit her name as well?
Well, I did ask Trustee Cook, would you like to also be considered for this committee?
Okay, sure.
Okay. All right. So we need 3, and I'm just trying to get clarification here. Do we? Yeah. So. So when you get your ballot, you're going to vote for 3 candidates. Okay, is that clear? 3 I guess there's nowhere that I can write it. Okay, make a note. It's Hatfield, Buckler, Nelson, Chin, and Cook. What? I think your check marks are confusing.
That they're eligible.
Okay, but just leave their names open without a check mark? Okay. Okay. Okay, so what the director is doing is crossing off the names of the trustees that aren't being considered. So there's 5 names left, and you will pick 3. Okay? Okay. I'm not offering to sing while we're waiting for the vote, but if anyone else wants to. Good. Smart.
Trustee Buckler and Trustee Hatfield are elected, and we have a tie for the third position.
I'm going to remove my name from the ballot, please, and thank you.
Sorry, we do have our third person. Sorry.
And it's Trustee Nelson.
Okay. So tell us again who the three are, because the last person dropped off and then the next one moved up. So we have three.
Buckler, Hatfield, and Nelson.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, may I ask what's the tie? Who was the two for the tie?
Wait, we don't. No, we don't. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's our last committee, the DPA committee. It's trustees Hatfield, Buckler, and Nelson. Thank you. Could I please have a motion to destroy the ballots? Trustee McCauley, Trustee Nelson. All those in support? That's carried. So where do the ballots go to be destroyed? They've got them and we'll get them later? Melissa will take care of that. Thank you. Okay. The last item on the agenda is the chairperson's remarks, and I just kind of wrote this an hour or two before the meeting, in the event that I became chair of the board. So I do have some remarks, and it will be brief, being mindful of the time, and we have to move on with our public meeting. But being chair these past 3 years has not been easy, and unfortunately at times it has been demanding and difficult. I don't see this changing anytime soon, and I fear that in the near future, this Board of Trustees may find itself under supervision or quite possibly non-existent. As proud as I am of our school board and the great accomplishments of our students and staff, this boardroom presents a challenging work environment. The way that I see it, the reality is that while all trustees care very deeply about our students, it is my opinion that some trustees have a better understanding of the rules of engagement. In my opinion, some trustees demonstrate better comprehension and acceptance of their duties and responsibilities. In my opinion, some trustees have a stronger understanding of our mission, our values, and priorities, and how these all align with good governance. And in my opinion, some trustees are more mindful of how our public meetings impact confidence in our school board. As much as I try to provide prudent and sensible guidance to the board, as a chair should, some trustees will choose a different and sometimes difficult path. This all comes with the territory. So I had to ask myself, why do I continue? Why do I give so much of my time and energy to be chair of the board? And I found that the answer was simple. It's because I never waver in my belief that what this school board does matters. The overwhelming value of public education matters. And local democracy matters very much. And for these reasons, I also believe that what I do at this school board and what I can contribute as a trustee and as chair matters. I truly do thank the trustees for allowing me to continue serving the board as chair. And as I have for the past 3 years, I will continue to do so in the best way possible for our students, staff, families, and community. Thank you. And with that, I will call for adjournment of the meeting. And we will take 5 minutes, and at 6:15 we will begin our public meeting. Thank you.